Welcome to the 2018 Mercedes-Benz E400 convertible pre-check. The purpose of the pre-check is to level set before my review and provide some guiding questions for my review. So before I get too far into my review, I just want to explain my 5 key criteria. 1. Interior. 2. Exterior. 3. Performance. 4. Feel. And 5. Value. So first we have the exterior. I would define this as a blend of how the car looks as well as the quality of the car. I think a lot of what we see today is cars that might look great, but really have a bunch of plastic and kind of a facade on the outside. So when I think about the exterior, I of course want the car to look great. I kind of find myself trending towards kind of blockier cars right now, as opposed to the curves, but also it's about the quality and the build of the product itself. So for the Mercedes E400, I really do like the outside appearance of it. I think Mercedes more recently has gone to kind of the more sleek, kind of feminine design. However, I think this one being from 2018 is a little bit before that came too far into play. I really do like the ground effects. I like the wheels as well. I also really do like the dual exhaust you have on the tail end. Be interested to see how those actually kind of look in person. So kind of level set for the exterior, I think it looks great. I'm excited to see how much of the outside actually is plastic itself. That's kind of my initial concern looking at this, but I think we'll have a better idea once we see it in person. So for my interior criteria, I would say it's really pretty similar to the exterior. So quality matters, of course how it looks matters, but then my third one would be how it feels when you're actually sitting in there. So what I mean is it comfortable? If you're in a performance car, does it actually feel like a performance car? If you're in a utilitarian car, does it have kind of utilitarian features as you're sitting in there? But again, the quality is incredibly important, and then also just how it looks. So as I'm looking at these Mercedes pictures for the first time, I think the interior, just straightforward, looks very nice. My initial concerns are just the sheer amount of plastic that's being used in it, especially kind of as you see that clock in the center console, that whole dashboard appears to be plastic. I'm going to be interested to see kind of how it feels, how it's aged, given this is a 2018, so it's a couple years old. Also, what other kind of leather or faux leather is on that steering wheel. Interested to see how that's aged, as well as kind of the screen that you see behind it as well. Now, as I transition to kind of this picture of the rear seats, my first question is, can a human fit in the back seat? I think a lot of times these cars are sold as 4-seaters, except more often than not, it's like 2 humans and then 2 sort of like creatures or something. More often than not, you cannot fit in the back seat. So I'm going to try to sit in that back seat. We'll see if I fit. I'm around 6'1", 210, 215, something like that. So not too small of a human, but not the biggest person either. So I'm going to sit back there, see if we fit. I think overall it looks nice. I think the cup holder's in the middle, again, some sort of plastic, so I'll be curious to see how that ages. But really my main question for the back seat will be, can I fit in it? So for performance, this really is the most quantitative part of my review. It's really just 0 to 60 time, horsepower, torque, MPG, items like that. So kind of headline statistics, we're looking at a 3-liter V6 turbo, 4-wheel drive. Definitely like the aspect of it being 4-wheel drive. That'll be interested to see kind of how it puts all that kind of horsepower down. As far as horsepower, it has 329 horsepower. So not the most, but with kind of horsepower above 300 or so, I typically tend to see some sort of slippage when you're flooring it. So I think that 4-wheel drive will be helpful. Again, we'll kind of see how it feels as I drive it, if it can actually put all that horsepower to the ground. But I think headline statistics, 329 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, V6 turbo, 9-speed, I think overall it sounds like a good start. So I just finished my section on performance, which I think is the most quantitative section of my review. And now lastly, feel is by far the most subjective and qualitative part of my review. The question is incredibly simple. How does the car make you feel? Horsepower, torque, 0 to 60, MPG, I think in a lot of ways are kind of irrelevant to this part. They definitely matter a good amount, but I think some cars just have that it factor and some cars don't. Some cars, whether it's the first time you get into it or the 50th, you get into it and you're giddy, you're excited, you're ready to drive. And some cars you get into it and you're borderline embarrassed, or it just feels monotonous. So I think this is an extremely important part of the review. I'm excited to see how it feels. Of course, I have no idea how it feels right now, but as I get into it, I drive it, I kind of see how it looks around me, I'll definitely get kind of a better idea for how it feels and how it feels as a car overall. For my last criteria, value, it's very simple. Is it good bang for your buck or not? So that concludes my initial pre-check. I'll definitely be interested to see how this car performs. I think the exterior, be excited to see kind of how much plastic is actually on the car. Similarly with the interior, and also just kind of curious to see if I can fit in the back seat. As far as performance and feel, I think I will have a better idea on those kind of as I get in the car itself. I think headline numbers look good. I think the car itself looks great, and we'll have to see how it performs. See you then.